Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Want to talk about LeBron improving the Lakers to 19-19 in his 19th season versus Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes where the Lakers are originally from, and him passing Oscar Robertson in career free throws made while he's teammates with Russell Westbrook, who a few seasons back passed Oscar Robertson in triple doubles. Again, this is another example of how scripted the NBA is, and it's amazing how scripted it is. And for any idiot who will say, well, say something before the game, I did post on Twitter before the game, I wonder what's going to happen against the Lakers versus Minnesota going for 19-19 in LeBron's 19th season. Again, this whole season's been all about 19. They started the season early on October 19th because LeBron's the focal point of the league. Remember, LeBron picked up his 67th win the Lakers did. The Lakers picked up their 67th win versus the Cavs, which is the 19th prime number, exactly 19 weeks after the real King James' birthday, June 19th. He's had some teammates test positive for COVID-19 19 days after their birthday this season. And I think even his COVID ritual where he missed a game, I think that was on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was 19 days before his birthday. It was something like that. But look at how scripted this game was, and then I'm going to show you why I'm worried about Oscar Robertson, possibly as soon as tomorrow, because tomorrow would remind me about Kobe Bryant dying at 41 the day after LeBron passed Kobe in points scored in his hometown Philly. But I'm more worried about 19 days after this game, because the triple-double code is there, and I'll bring this all together if you don't know what I'm talking about. We've been able to predict several triple-doubles for LeBron and Russell Westbrook and many others over the years because of a specific number, and it's funny that 58 days after Oscar Robertson's birthday is 19 days after this game, and I'm just going to show you how this all comes together. But look. This was the 38th game of the season for the Lakers. They become 19-19. Minnesota equals 38. Remember, George Floyd killed on the corner of 38th Street. But look at this. The Lakers improved to 83-38 versus Minnesota all-time last night. Oscar Robertson is 83 years old right now, and that's not a good number. Murder by Numbers, the song, came out in 1983. It's about how killing is as simple as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Remember the movie poster for Murder by Numbers? The only letters changed to numbers are the E to the 8, the B to the 3. Or maybe it's the B to the 8, the E to the 3, but it's 3883. Murder is 83 the big way, 38 the small way. But look at the Lakers starters. These are the Lakers starters last night in the game. Johnson had a point. James had 26. Russell Westbrook had 20. Bradley had 14. And Monk had 22. What's that add up to? 83 points. And this goes on every night, you guys. This is how scripted the league is. So the Lakers starters scored 83 points last night, picking up their 83rd win against Minnesota. LeBron passes Oscar Robertson, who's 83 years old right now. Keep in mind, 83 is the 23rd prime, and King equals 23. Of course, LeBron's worn 23 for the majority of his career. And don't overlook that he was born in 1938 either, in light of them becoming 83 and 38. But you see how it was the 121st game played? The phrase blood sacrifice equals 121. And I'm trying to think of the receiver that used to catch balls from Brady. Him and his son both died in 121 rituals. As in recent years, his name is escaping me right now. But father and son both dead. Father was former NFL receiver. Both dead in 121 rituals. And, but here, moving on. LeBron last night, if you look this up, this is his career record right now at home. He's 517 and 163. And 163 is the 38th prime number. 38. Minnesota 38. Death, murder, killing, R.I.P. They're all 38. George Floyd again on the corner of 38th Street. John Madden dies in a ritual by the numbers. Then 2 days after his death, we have a national news story of a police officer killing a 38-year-old in his hometown of Austin, Minnesota. What are the odds of that? But LeBron stayed on 163 home losses last night, and he improved to 16-3 versus the Timberwolves, like 163, the 38th prime. So the point I'm making is these numbers, 83 and 38. Here, you know what? Let me just put this up here for somebody who hasn't seen me show this before. The movie Murder by Numbers, again, here's the movie poster for it. The E is the 3, the B is the 8. 3883, right? And Murder's got that Gematria 38 and 83. The song Murder by Numbers by the Police in 83. Sandra Bullock's the star of that movie. Her name's 83, not to mention it came out while she was 38 years old. And again, Killing, Death, R.I.P., they're all 38. So is Gematria in English. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. Look up the song Gematria, the Killing Name, the first member of that band to die. It's the band Slipknot did that song. He died at age 38. Just last year, another member of the band died. He died on a 38 date numerology. But here's why this is just so. I mean, this ritual could just be so perfect and so sick all at once. If Oscar Robertson dies January 21st, 121, like how this was the 121st game, it's going to be 19 days after this game because it was January 2nd, right? Again, it's LeBron's 19th season. But January 21st, 121, L is the 12th letter, A is the first, so L-A in numbers is 12-1, like 121, kind of like January 21st, 121. The Lakers improved to 12-10 last night at home in this game, 1-2-1. There were 211 points scored. 211 points scored in this game. Let me put it back up here so you can see it. 108, 103, 211 points. Think about if you write the date January 21st the way they do in other parts of the world. 21/1, right? Then you got 211, like the number of points scored in the game in the 121st meeting. And the other day I'd be a little bit concerned about for Robertson is tomorrow, because tomorrow's 4/1 and it's 41 days after his birthday. And remember, LA equals 41. Kobe Bryant's 41. Kobe Bryant, of course, dead at 41. And tomorrow's also 53 days after Russell Westbrook's birthday, where Los Angeles is 53. Number that helped us pick the Rams over the Ravens yesterday. Double 53 ritual in that game. Ravens fell to 5-3 versus the Rams. Dropped to 5-3 at home for the season. But again, these are just repetitive numbers with the city. And if he did die tomorrow, man, that would be just like Kobe, because it would be so close. Well, it'd be really similar. Kobe died the day after LeBron passed him in points scored. So it'd be 2 days after if they did it like that. But I must have skipped over it. All right, right here. January 21st, that's the day that I think is more likely. 19 days after the game. That day is 58 days after Oscar Robertson's birthday, and triple-double equals 58. And for years, we've been able to call out the days that triple-doubles will happen with these big star players because of this specific number. Triple-double 58. Keep in mind, Los Angeles Lakers is 58. The real King James died at age 58. The one the Bible's named after. Biblical's 58. He was a Freemason and a Rosicrucian. Freemasonry and Rosicrucian both equal 58. So does Secret Society. When you flip it around, Kobe Bryant, his name goes from 41 forwards to 58 in reverse. And Los Angeles Lakers also equals 58. If you're new here, I'll just show you. You see the gematria of Kobe Bryant? He died at age 41 on his 157th day of his age. It's 41 when you use the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, 157 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, 58 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology. And notice Los Angeles Lakers is 58. So, again, if he kicks the bucket January 21st, this meeting between the teams, the score, and just the distance and days all told the story. And this is what we see time and time again. So often when these players kick the bucket, we go back and look and we say, man, look at how it all lined up. And it's funny if this does happen. The last time we called a death dead on, it was Prince's, and that was also connected to Minnesota. But yeah, it's just too bad that the league's this way, and or the world of entertainment's this way. But yeah, I mean, from scripted rituals on the court to scripted, murder by numbers, and yeah, I guess those are all the main thoughts. But they truly couldn't have scripted it any better. And again, you start paying attention to games and how many points starters score, you'll see how often these rituals go down. What are the odds that Oscar Robertson would be 83, LeBron would pass him, and then they'd get the 83rd win, and the starters would score 83 combined points? I mean, what are the odds of that? It's astronomical, yet when you pay attention, this stuff goes on night after night. And, I see Itachi's in the chat, you guys. Itachi's doing a great job. He's focused right now decoding the NBA, and he's doing some really good work. So that's a man to follow right now. Here, you know what? Real quick while we're here, I want to look up. I want to look up Oscar Robertson. Now, remember, Sam Jones just kicked the bucket by the numbers. We just covered that the other day. By the way, that was another 19 ritual. He died on LeBron's birthday. He died on LeBron's birthday 190 days after his own birthday. And if you add 1 through 19 together, it equals 190. 190 is the 19th triangular number. But Sam Jones just died by the numbers on LeBron's birthday. And, of course, LeBron's born December 30th. It says he died 189 days after his birthday. That's actually true. He died on his 190th day of his age. So anytime you look, like here, I'll just show you this real quick. You see how his birthday is June 24th? That's Freemasonry's birthday. But look at this. So this is why you always got to look at the dates the two ways. June 24th, 2021 to the day he died, December 30th, 2021. That's 189 days later. But if you check the box, then that'll tell you what day of his age was. Because the 189 is how many days after his birthday it was. You check the box, you say, okay, then you count his birthday as well. That was his 190th day of his age. And again, 190 is the 19th triangular number. You see the 6 months and 7 days? It's kind of like 67. That's the 19th prime number. Again, the Cavs. The Lakers got the 67th win versus the Cavs, the 19th prime, exactly 19 weeks after the real King James's birthday on June 19th. But here, let's go back and look at Oscar Robertson. I want to see his career. Okay. He played for Milwaukee, too, who won the finals last year. Here, they won the finals on July 20th. I just want to see something. I want to see from that day to January 21st, 2022, how long that is. Wow, God, that's crazy. It's 185 days later. Look at this. Basketball is 185. Talked about some rituals with that number over the years. Be 185 days after. And here's another thing, since all these things are mathematics. You see how basketball is 185 and 68? Look at mathematics. 185 and 68. You know? Who's doing all this? Catholicism, 185 and 68. You see how Catholicism's also 112? Check the tape on mathematics. 112, like 1 plus 1 is 2. But who did this Cincinnati team become? The Cincinnati Royals? What team is that now? Is that the Kings? I think that's the Kings team now. I think the Cincinnati Royals eventually ended up becoming the Kings. It makes sense because he's wearing a crown. Let me check that. And don't forget, King James, the LeBron, his first career game was against the King. Did the Cincinnati Royals become the Kings? Let's see. In 1971, the franchise moved to the Kansas City area known as the Kansas City Omaha Kings and later the Kansas City Kings. In 1985, the franchise moved to Sacramento. Yeah, so okay, they're the Sacramento Kings now. So that would also fit in. You know, and they moved out to California where LeBron is now, and they started out in Ohio where LeBron started out. Again, the whole Milwaukee-Atlanta thing, that's Hank Aaron. Started with the Milwaukee Braves and moved to the Atlanta Braves. Hank Aaron got released by the Atlanta Braves on November 2nd, 74, and then the Braves won the World Series on the 47-year anniversary of his release. I see that Oscar Robertson finished his career in 74 as well. The 73-74 season. So that was 48 years ago. James is 48. But yeah, you know, it's too bad it's this way. I'd like to say I hope it doesn't happen, but I'd like to think that Oscar Robertson will get wind of this video and lock himself in a bunker, but he better, because a lot of deaths have happened over the years in connection to LeBron James, and Sam Jones was the latest. We just covered Sam Jones on New Year's Eve. I covered it on GematriaEffectNews 24. I didn't cover it on this channel, but yeah. I'll just show you. We got the post on this. Yeah, again, dead on his 190th day of his age in LeBron's 19th season. So we'll see. Is Oscar Robertson going to kick the bucket 19 days after LeBron gets to 19 and 19, passing him in free throws? Sam Jones also died on the 73rd day of this season. Sacrifice and ritual sacrifice are 73. Oh, yeah, that's the thing, too. He died on LeBron's 37th birthday, and his birth name, Sam Jones' birth name, is Samuel, which is 37. You see? And, of course, Los Angeles is 37. And look at the name Bryant. You know, Bryant's 26 forwards, 37 in reverse. He died on the 26th, on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant. And again, Kobe Bryant, he died on his 157th day of his age. That's also the 37th prime number. So, here, I'll show you one more thing that's a little bit concerning about Oscar Robertson. You see how his name has 79 and 34 in it? You see the 79 and 34 in Oscar? The word murder has 79 and 34 in it. And if you go back to that Murder by Numbers movie poster, again, we talked about the 38 and 83, but look at the orange numbers that are right around the yellow words. The orange 7, the orange 9, right? Murder by numbers. Let the mind games begin. You know what I mean? So anyway, we'll leave it there for now, you guys. And, again, let's hope that this is not the case, but yeah, it's definitely not out of the question. Oh, Itachi's got a good point in the chat, too. Itachi's got a good point in the chat. He points out that triple-double is also 185 and 68, just like basketball. 185, 68, and if he does kick the bucket on January 21st, it's going to be 185 days after his former Milwaukee Bucks won the championship. So, don't forget, the first ever March Madness was in 1985. You see how basketball's 85? You see how basketball's 85 and 22? Just like Boston, the first team to win 17 championships, like NBA 17. But the first March Madness was 1985, and who won that? The Catholic school beat the Jesuit school. And again, basketball 185-68, just like Catholicism. And with regards to the Jesuits, their motto is Isus Hominum Salvator, which is 85, you know. And you got to know all the ciphers. If you look up the Jesuit logo, it's the sun with IHS in it for Isus Hominum Salvator. If you look in your science book, it says the surface gravity of the sun is 274 meters per second squared. So there's your 274 with your bullshit science by the numbers. And trust me, the stuff they're teaching you in school is bullshit by the numbers in a lot of areas. From the history to science, all sorts of stuff. Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope. He's the 266th pope. That's why he spoke in D.C. on the 266th day of the year. And the 122, that's just like Pope Francis, you know. So, again, you got to know your ciphers forwards and backwards. And if you guys haven't read my last book, Number Games, there's a huge chapter in here on Kobe's death. Let me see. What chapter is it? Chapter 16. Chapter 16. I forget what page it starts on. The chapter on Kobe's death, though, is enormous. I just scanned to this page right here. This isn't the beginning of the chapter, but just right here, I'll just read from this paragraph. Moving on and continuing with the subject of 157. Let me put Kobe Bryant back up on the screen while we talk about it. This number connects to many more important things regarding Kobe Bryant, including his father, who was once an NBA star himself, having been drafted by the Warriors before playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, the San Diego Clippers, and the Houston Rockets. His NBA nickname was Jelly Bean, equating to 157. So again, Kobe's father's nickname was Jelly Bean. 157, same cipher. As in Joe Jellybean Bryant. For another 157, Kobe's death was blamed on an accident. Let's put it in. Accident. 157. Equating to 157 with reverse simple, the same as Jelly Bean. Furthermore, the day of his death, the WWE's 33rd Royal Rumble was taking place, corresponding with Kobe equating to 33, and the first time in the history of the WWE a man from Scotland won the event. He was Drew McIntyre. Let's type in Drew McIntyre's name. Drew McIntyre. 157, you see it? Let's see, where were we? Here, I'm going to skip ahead. Because there's some more 157 here. Continuing with the subject of 157, Kobe Bryant's father still is, and Kobe Bryant was a member of the Boule, as many black entertainers are. I bring this up because the date Joe Bryant was born, October 19th, 1954. That's what day the NBA season started this year, October 19th. For LeBron's 19th season, was 157 days after the Boule's 50th birthday. So Joe Bryant, the father, was born 157 days after Boule, and Kobe Bryant was in the Boule, so was LeBron. Having been established May 15th, 1904. Hold on, though. This chapter is massive. I thought it would be... I must have skipped it around. Remember the movie poster? LeBron was in the movie with Kanye West and Bruce Willis, the short little Nike film, and the motto on that poster... Oh, yeah, here we go. I see. For yet another 157 pertaining to the premature death of the basketball star, Kobe Bryant and Kanye West, along with Bruce Willis, did a short film called The Black Mamba. That was made for Nike, and that was released in February of 2011. The film concludes with Kobe Bryant throwing a basketball with a bomb inside of it at a helicopter that houses an escaping villain played by Kanye West, leading to the helicopter exploding in midair. This obviously reminds us of Kobe's fatal helicopter accident. If you look at the poster made for that film that depicts an exploding helicopter behind Kobe Bryant, at the top it says, "You lose this road game, you don't go home." Here, I mean, this one is just the absolute clincher. You lose this road game, you don't go home. 157. You see? It's just like, read it and weep. Read it and weep. Yeah, there's even more, man. I mean, there's so much stuff to it. This chapter is huge because there's so much to Kobe's death. So, I mean, I think this chapter on Kobe's death might be longer than my new book alone. But, yeah, man, it's just... It's messed up how they do it. It is really messed up how they do it, so... Anyway. And by the way, what's funny is if you keep an eye on my Amazon, page for this book, they are taking away reviews every single day. I've lost over 50 reviews in the last... They're not taking away any of the bad reviews. They're taking away the good reviews. Amazon is actively subtracting the good reviews from the thing. It's like, what is this? Like, what? And a ton of people have left a good review that never showed up. I've gotten so many emails since the book came out that, Zach, they won't post my review. It makes me think that they've stolen from me, too, because I think my book would have more reviews than even people like Andrew Cuomo's, who came out on the same day about the pandemic. And they've hardly paid me anything. Andrew Cuomo got paid $5 million for his book. I've gotten paid jack shit. And now they're having to take away reviews from it. But, Anyway, we'll leave it there for now, you guys. Thanks for everyone who hit the like. Thanks to everyone who shares the video. And, yeah, I'll be back soon on GematriaEffectNews because I got to go over there and talk about why they keep throwing around this number that Donald Trump didn't respond to the insurrection for 187 minutes. It's just comical, man. We've been talking about Donald Trump and 187 since before he was president. His 2016 convention was on 18/7, 187 days from Inauguration Day. From his birthday to the Pope's birthday is a span of 187 days. Society of Jesus, 187. Washington, D.C., 187. Again, you guys, you learn the number code, you see how it's all about the numbers. It's just like what's etched all over the Masonic temples. All is number. But, Anyway, I'll see you over on Gematria Effect News 24 in a little bit. Till next time.